We got a big fight tomorrow. Lomachenko-Lopez out there in Las Vegas. Big time fight between these two guys out there in the Las Vegas bubble. I mean, Lomachenko is a guy who's lost one time. I think it was his second fight against Orlando Salido. And then you have Teofimo Lopez, undefeated, young pup, 23 years old. Lomachenko, 32 years old. This is going to be a big-time fight. And this is a fight that you don't always get in the sport of boxing. And here's also the thing about this fight. If you have ESPN, well, it's free. So you have a situation where you don't have to – this is a pay-per-view caliber fight, and you get it for free. So that's number one. That's the number one reason you need to celebrate at this point in time, because you're getting a pay-per-view caliber fight for free. All right? So celebrate. Jump around. If you love the sport of boxing, you're getting a pay-per-view caliber fight for free. All right? So you can't beat that. It's free. If you have ESPN, of course. And, of course, if you have ESPN, you're paying for it. But forget all the details. But I think this is going to be a very good fight. I think this is going to be a highly skilled war. I think – now, here's some scenarios. I think we're going to see it could be a highly skilled war. It could be a situation where Lomachenko gives Lopez a boxing lesson. It could be a situation where it could be a number of different things. But those are the two things that I think it's going to be. It's either going to be Lomachenko is going to give him a boxing lesson, or it's going to be a war. And if this fight was at 130, 126, I would say Lomachenko. No doubt about it. But this fight is at 135. And I don't like Lomachenko at 135. As great as he is, I don't think 135 is the weight for him. I think it's too big for him. I think he's best at 130, 126. He doesn't belong at 135 in this. If this fight was at 130, I'm going with Loma. But it's at 135. And Teofimo Lopez can bang. And you look at the situation, Loma's been touched up at 135 a little bit. Been touched up a little bit. He fought Linares at 135, and he was dropped by Linares in that particular fight. And Linares is actually up on a scorecard before he was stopped in the 10th round of that particular fight. So I think what you're going to see tomorrow, and I'll tell you exactly what you're going to see tomorrow. You're going to see a very close fight. You're going to see Loma's going to get dropped. I think he's going to get dropped in this particular fight. And I think him getting dropped is going to be the difference in this fight. The way I see it, it's going to be a razor-close split decision, a 114-113 situation. And the difference is going to be Lopez's knockdown. So I think it's going to be a close fight. And I think the scorecards are going to be 114-113, 2 times for Lopez, and 114-113 once for Lomachenko. And I think Lopez, who has this guy, when you're around Lopez and you watch Lopez, the dancing and the backflip, this is a guy with a great personality, a guy who likes to have a lot of fun, but a guy with some very good skills. He has star written all over him. He has star written all over him. So I think tomorrow is going to be the moment, the time. Saturday night is going to be the moment, the time where the star arrives. That's going to be his moment. This guy has the potential to be one of the faces of the sport of boxing. And I think we will see that face after tomorrow a lot. And it's going to be a prominent face in the sport of boxing. I think Lopez gets it done. But here's one thing I will say. Being that there's no crowd there, and this fight was supposed to happen in May at MSG, and COVID happened, and we all know what COVID did to the world of sports. And I look at that fight, and I think from Lopez's standpoint, he needs that crowd. I think the crowd would have benefited Teofimo Lopez. And I'll say this. When you let's look at basketball, for example. Let's just make this comparison. Young players, in sports in general, young players tend to do better at home than on the road. And I say that because I look at Teofimo, And he's a guy that feeds off the crowd, I believe. I believe he feeds off the energy of the crowd. So he's not going to have that tomorrow. And I think that is something that would benefit him, having that crowd in the building. He's not going to have it. So I look at that, and that's something that benefits Lomachenko, in my opinion. The young guy needs the crowd. 23-year-old Lopez, he needs the crowd, in my opinion. He needs it. Loma, not so much. He's a veteran, been there, done that. He knows what it takes to win. And so, all that being said, razor thin. Loma is going to hit the deck again. And I think ultimately, when it's all said and done, we're going to have a new king of the 135-pound division. And we're going to have a new star in the sport of boxing in Teofimo Lopez. He will get the victory tomorrow night at the MGM Grand Bubble out there in Las Vegas. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. And at the end of the day, here's the best thing about it. They say the best things in life are free. And guess what? This fight is free. Of course, if you have ESPN and you're paying your ESPN bill on a regular, hey, it's a pandemic out here, and there's a lot of people losing jobs and whatnot, so maybe people are cutting the cord and getting rid of cable because of all that. But hey, you pay your bill, you got to fight tomorrow. Lomachenko-Lopez, and I think Teofimo Lopez will win in a close, razor-thin split decision. And I think Loma hits the deck tomorrow. But I think a star again will be born in Teofimo Lopez. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. If you love the sport of boxing, you're licking your chops at this, man. This is huge. This is huge. I mean, this is a fight you normally have to pay for. You normally have to drop $75, $75 to $80 for this fight. You normally have to pay for this one. This one don't usually come for free. And you're getting this one for free. Free. So enjoy it. They don't come around as much as they should. And I think the sport of boxing would benefit from having more fights like this on bigger platforms. I mean, pay-per-view is pay-per-view. And, obviously you need to sometimes to pay the different purses and whatnot, especially without no gate, without no crowd. You're going to need those pay-per-view dollars to win if you're the promoter in that particular situation. But again, you got this fight for free. Thank you, Top Rank Boxing. Thank you, ESPN. And I think I'll be thanking Lopez and Lomachenko tomorrow because I think we're going to get a big-time fight.